Organization of content is one of the biggest challenges when building a new product or improving the user experience of existing product. Logical and intuitive information organization is essential for creating a good user experience. In this video, we will discuss a technique called tree testing that helps us test the structure of our content. Tree testing is a powerful method for evaluating the structure and findability of your content. You may wonder why this technique has the word tree in it. A typical website or mobile app comprises a hierarchy of categories and subcategories, all branch out from the homepage. This hierarchy of content visually look like a tree. Tree testing is a simple exercise. You invite people who represent your target audience and ask them to find the location of specific items in existing structure. Tree testing doesn't require interaction with the actual products. Test participants interact with the accordion, representing the product structure. Based on the testing results, you can see where your users would expect to find the information, and you can make improvements to your product design based on the real user behavior. Card sorting and tree testing are two popular methods that product creators use to organize information. It's essential to understand the difference between two. Tree testing is basically the inverse of the card sorting. Instead of giving users cards with the names of the items and asking them to sort the cards in piles that make sense to them, you present users with the actual navigation structure and ask them to find a specific item. Tree testing is incredibly useful as a follow-up to card sorting. First, you conduct card sorting to understand the user mental model and use this information to design a hierarchy of information in your product. Then, you conduct tree testing to evaluate a hierarchy according to how it performs to real-world scenarios. Tree testing is valuable when you are working on a redesign of your product. Tree testing will help you to identify areas where your navigation system doesn't perform as expected, so the users cannot find what they need. This technique will tell you what labels should be given and why. Then you conduct tree testing to evaluate a hierarchy according to how it performs in real-world scenarios. You need to conduct tree testing before and after the redesign. Before starting to change the information architecture of your product, conduct tree testing of an existing product to define the baseline metrics you will use to understand how your product performs. Then, conduct another tree testing after the launch of the new version to see if you have any significant improvements. Let's discuss 5 steps that you must go through to conduct tree testing. First, you need to create a sitemap. A sitemap is a visual representation of the content available on your website or in your app. The sitemap contains parent and child pages and helps us to see a product's overall hierarchy of content. Here you can see an example of a sitemap for e-commerce website. A sitemap shouldn't be fancy. You can create it using the tabs like in this example. This format works well when you need to communicate the structure to other people or use it for tree testing. Your tree should be a complete list of all main content categories and their subcategories. Next, you need to write tasks for test participants. The task should explain to test participants what they should try to find. The task can sound like, imagine you're landing on the homepage of this website, and you need to find what iPhones with shop offers. Whenever possible, try to avoid using the section's name in the questions you ask users. You don't want to direct test participants to a particular section. Even if you are interested in testing only a specific section of the tree, excluding the other sections is risky because it assumes that users are familiar with your product structure. So you need to have a full tree. And for each task you prepare, you should also define the correct answer, corresponding to where the information is actually located within the tree. You need to measure the results of testing. The most common metrics are success rate, percentage of participants that were able to find the item, directness, the percentage of users completing the task without hesitation, those who are getting the correct answer from the first attempt, and the time on task, how much time the user spends on task. Tree testing is quantitative research method that collects information on how many people face a particular problem. It means that you need a bigger sample size to get reliable results. You should have a decent number of participants to have a small margin of error. Aim for at least 20 people because it will give you 80% confidence. Ideally, you should have 90 or more people because it will give you 90% confidence. Now you're ready to conduct the tree testing. When you provide instruction to test participants, you don't have to provide any specific context apart from the one in a task, and it doesn't require any specific preparation for test participants. Tree testing shouldn't take longer than 20 minutes. Don't ask test participants to complete more than 10 tasks. The more test participants interact with the hierarchy of your content, the more chances they will memorize your product structure, which will bias the session results. Here you can see how the testing looks for test participants. First, they read the quick instruction, and then they complete the tasks. When test participants complete the task, then can backtrack if they understand that they need to choose a different path, like in this example when I first decided to search for an iPhone in the computer section. You should also measure the number of backtracks in a metric called directness. It will help you to identify the items that are difficult to find. Tree testing is quick, simple, and inexpensive way to evaluate the content organization in your product. Results of tree testing will give you a better understanding of what categories will need to be adjusted. If you like this video, please subscribe and click on the bell icon so you'll never miss a new video. Thank you!